Okay, and let's go live on Facebook. I've got something to type in. Go, and we'll go live. Wait for Facebook to catch up. It's being live streamed. Okay, so we're just about there. It's always about lag. Here we go, we're on. Right. Okay. So here we are with Catriona. Now this is going to be interesting. I can't wait to find out what Zoom does with our accents, because it can't do Yorkshire, so I have no idea what it's going to do. Oh, I've got no idea what it's going to do with Scottish. See. Right, okay, so thank you for coming on, Catriona. I know I can't keep you long because you're a very busy lady, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. So first of all, we need to talk about where you were. So it was like the beginning of this year. We were kind of in lockdown still. So tell us a bit about you. So what's your situation? So we know you're in Scotland.
Yes.
So tell me a bit about you and why you decided to do the course.
Yeah, well, I'm a Scottish mum of 4. Prior to lockdown, I had my own business running a dance school. And prior to children, I would have said I was pretty organized with money. I'm the money person in the house. I do the money instead of my husband. And since having children and then stopping running a dance school, just definitely money organization was not the same. So when Heather was offering the beta course, I was like, yes, I'll sign up for that.
Brilliant. So you said you were quite up on money, but obviously life gets in the way. You've got 4 kids. You're really, really busy all the time. So what did you think you learned, or what did you get from the course? Like, why was it useful to you?
I think mostly it just got me back on track. Things that I knew I should have been doing, but I'd got lazy with and things. Rather than letting things take over, like insurances or gas and electricity, I now have a wee Heather on my shoulder saying, "Have you done that? Time's ticking away."
So in a Heather, instead of a Heather says it's okay moment, you have a Heather says, Catriona, have you done this yet moment?
Yeah. Are we kicking my bum?
So we're going to ask about some people have made money from the course, either like when Jo, we talked to Jo the other day about her situation, and she got a promotion. Celeste had made, within the first 2 weeks, she'd made £600 from looking at her finances again. So what did you get from it? I mean, we mentioned something this morning, which I think is so funny. So do you want to just tell everybody what happened this morning?
Yeah, well, living in Scotland, we've got a bit of a different system, but we've got this thing called the Best Start Grant, and children that are going in to start a school can get £250 towards the cost of starting school. And I hadn't applied for it, and I wasn't sure I'd applied for it actually. And then when I was coming on this call, I thought I better check up on that. Remember, so yeah,
shoulder was like,
Heather said, come on, better check up on it. So I checked up, and basically before coming on this call, I've essentially brought in £250. So that was a good moment. Yeah, remember to that, because obviously there's deadlines for these things too. Yeah. So didn't miss out on that one, so that's great. And when I was doing the course, I covered the cost of the course too. Off the top of my head, I can't remember everything I did, but there was things that I had sort of lapsed where I was able to phone them up and get a new cheaper rate. And then there was something that I cancelled. Oh, I know what we did. Do you know what we did? We got rid of our TV license because we only were watching Netflix and Disney. And literally that was all we were watching, was Netflix and Disney. So we cancelled our TV license because you don't need it for Netflix and Disney. So that saved us £20 a month right there.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think everybody found little wins, and it was good that you could celebrate. And it sounds funny to say little wins when actually they add up and they make big amounts of money. They do make a difference. I
Yeah.
mean, we
Yeah.
know that if you are worrying about money and you haven't got a lot coming in, and that TV license per month actually makes a difference as to whether
Yeah.
or not you go shop or not.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned something else to me earlier before we came on. Do you want to just say about your feelings about money? Because obviously you're in a situation now where you haven't got that income coming in. So what has the course kind of given you in other respects other than money?
Yeah, so like I say, I've always felt I was quite organized with money. That's why that's my job in the house. And then obviously having children and closing down school, everything got a bit of a muddle. And I think having got back to being a bit more organized with the money and feeling that that's on track, it's sort of given me permission to spend money on myself. And we're a one income household now because the dance school's closed. And maybe a bit too much information for people, but basically I was wanting to buy a new bra so I could start exercising and losing weight. I needed a better bra, and as you know, that's like a week's worth of shopping basically to buy a new bra. And in the past I would have been like, oh, just have to make do with this one. But I knew I had the money because I'm, budgeting and I know where the finances are, so I was able to give myself the permission to buy a bra.
I think that's been a theme throughout talking to different people that have done the course, not just the people that have been online and saying it, but the fact that they know where they are, so there's less panic. That if they can see things coming, so they know, like for you, you need to wear you need a new bra, so you know what you can do to make it happen, as opposed to thinking either not doing it at all, so you wouldn't buy a bra and therefore you'd be stressing about the money about it, or you'd be buying it and then stressing about the money about it, whereas you know what you can and can't do. And I think removing that anxiety about money, removing the panic, it's not all about budgeting, it's not all about not buying anything, it's about knowing what's important and being okay and knowing that, well, if you want to buy this then you can, but you need to wait until this time, or you need to do this first. And I think that's a big change for everybody. I think that's really helpful that you've explained it in that way. Yeah. So there's no excuse once you bought the bra to not do what you want to do.
Yes.
So moving forward then, so if someone's thinking about doing the course, what would you say to them? And please know, I haven't told her what to say. She's going to say whatever she feels. So what would you say to someone thinking about doing it?
I definitely would say do it. I mean, obviously it's not guaranteed, but I am like 99% sure that if you follow, 100% sure if you follow the advice that you will get the money back that you've paid for the course. If you follow the advice, there's no reason not to. And then you'll have your wee Heather on your shoulder, I'm sure, reminding you to get on with doing things because it's your money for your pocket. Yeah, and I also wanted to add about, being a mum of 4 young children. My oldest is going to be 7 next month, and my youngest is 1. So noisy and busy and crazy often at the times when we were doing the online calls if I didn't have my husband home, if he was working late. And so if that's something you're worried about, I just wanted to let everybody know that Heather is absolutely accommodating and welcoming, and you can turn your camera and your microphone off. And I was able to type in the chat when I wanted to join in, but it was too noisy because we're doing bath time, wherever. I was still able to sort of type in the chat box to join in the discussions and things. So if that's a concern for anybody, that it's accessible to everybody, I think, really. And
I would say I think it's important to say that if a mum of 4 kids can do it, anybody can do it, really. So how did you find the time to actually implement? What gave you that kind of kick to do the stuff that you've been putting off?
Well, I suppose it's the sort of seeing what you could save by doing these things, and money that would be back in your pocket that you could spend on yourself, the children, things that needed done in the house, you know, rather than paying out for things that you're not using or that you could save money on. And just your money back in your pocket, definitely.
That's, for me, that's, if I know exactly what I've got to do and I know like what would be the outcome in that I'm going to get more money, of course you're going to do it, because you know you can, and you know what you've got to do. And I think that's quite helpful. And one of the things that we did in the course this time around, what we're going to do in the course, is because of your feedback, was you were like, actually, life is really, really busy. It would be really, really helpful if we had an implementation week in between the 2 learning weeks, so that I've got time to do it. I mean, you made time, you did it anyway. But I think it gives you a bit more breathing space to have an extra hour. Your time to be able to implement. So I think that's, so thank you for that, because that was as a result of you guys, your feedback, that happened. So hopefully that will mean that it's even easier for people to go through the workbooks, and even easier to go through all the things that you've got to do, because it is quite, if everybody did everything, all the information that was in there, it would take months to do. But because everybody's individual, there'll be some things that were right for you to do that weren't right for somebody else to do. So you can just take the bits out and implement what feels all right for you at that time. So I think that's quite useful to say. So I think well done for you for your 250 quid today. That's great. And also for keeping on top with it. And you, and all the people that we've talked to today, every single person that was on the calls has completed the course. Really, you've all got your money back from the course, and done what you needed to do to be better off, which is brilliant, which is the end result. And the end result being as well less anxiety and knowing where you are, even though you haven't got your dance school up and running at the minute. And actually you've got great ideas about extra income moving forward as well, which we will talk about another time when it's happening. So yeah, all good stuff.
Absolutely. And just to add, and I've got savings now.
Right. Brilliant.
So, well, I mean, we always had a small amount of savings, but I'm deliberately, some of the money that we've cut off our monthly outgoings, you know, that money was saved. I've, instead of having that in our pockets, I've put that straight into the savings. So we've not noticed it necessarily in our weekly spending that there's more money, but I've noticed it in the savings account that there's more money, you know, so that when we've had things that were like, oh, you know, like this sofa, we got this sofa we bought with cash, because it was a display model and you had to pay cash. So I mean, that's something I wouldn't have been able to do before.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're literally sitting on the sofa that you got.
I am.
Bus.
Yes.
I did not know that. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, well done you. That's pretty much it. Is there anything else that you want to say before we go?
No, not really. Just that Heather's very supportive and approachable. So yeah, absolutely go for it. She understands if you need your camera off. Go for it. There's no reason not to earn your money back if you do all the stuff.
Absolutely. Oh, thanks, Catriona. Right, I'll let you go. Go and rescue your neighbour from your child. I think you said you were doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talking on. Right, I'm going to end now. Thank you. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.